Hi, I'm Jessa, and I love teaching math. Let's get started.
Welcome. We are continuing with the topic of distribution, and today we are going to go ahead and add three terms. So the example that we're doing here, let's do x plus 2, 3x plus 1, and let's call it x plus 5. So I have, instead of two terms, I have three. So I'm going to call these, for the sake of referring to them later, I'm going to call this guy A, I will call this second one B, and I'll call this third one C. So that way, when I'm talking about them later, we know what we're talking about. So in the same way that, let's do a side note here. So in the same way that 3 times 5 times 2, okay? It doesn't matter what order we write them in. Matter what order. So if I do 3 times 5, that's 15. And then I multiply 15 times 2, that's 30. What if I do 5 times 2? Well, that's 10. And then 10 times 3 is 30. So no matter what order we multiply them in, numbers, we always end up with the same value. And that's going to be true of our A, B, and C here as well. So in order to achieve this, I'm actually just going to consider this to be two problems. First, I'll consider it to just be A times B, this first times the second term. And then I will multiply whatever result I get by all of C. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's consider our first part to be A times B, which for us here in this example is x plus 2 times 3x plus 1. So in previous videos, we've talked about how to do this, and I've drawn out different ways. So here I will just use the foiling method, which is a little bit of the shortcut method. So I have x times 3x, which is 3x squared, x times 1, which is just x, 2 times 3x, which is 6x, and 2 times 1, which is 2. So if I add these two terms together and simplify, I get 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. That is the first part of the problem. I still have to complete the second part because I haven't done anything with C. So now the second part is to do the whole thing, right? So I have A times B, which don't forget, I've already done, so that's what this is, times C. So it'll be 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 times C, which was x plus 5. So now I have these three terms and I have to multiply it by my 2. So we're going to split this into, so each of these three components will be multiplied by the x, and each of these three components will be multiplied by the 5. So let's go ahead and get started. 3x squared times x. Well, that's 3x cubed. 7x times x. Well, that's 7x squared. 2 times x is 2x. So now I've done all three of the pieces by the x. I now have to handle the 5. Maybe we can switch to a different color to make this a little more clear. So let's switch. Now we're multiplying everything by the 5. So we'll do that in blue. 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. 7x times 5 is, well, 7 times 5 is 35. So 35x. And 2 times 5 is 10. So now I have all of my pieces written here. What I have to do is simplify. So let me erase that underline because I want to show which terms we're combining. I will have here this 35x and this 2x, because they both have an x, they will be added together. And then the x squared terms will also be added. There's only one x cubed and there's only one number by itself without an x, so those guys will stay by themselves. So our final answer for this problem is going to be 3x cubed. I have 7 plus 15, so that gives me 22x squared. I have 2 plus 35, so that'll be 37x. And then I have my 10. And that is the final answer to this 3-part distribution problem.
If you have extra questions, you can go ahead and post them in the comments and I'll try to answer as many of those as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to get more help with math and see more of the math content.